Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
We begin here at 5 with 3 breaking stories off the top. First, Governor Whitmer signs off on $2.5 billion in COVID relief spending. So why did she leave over $1 billion more on the table?
But we begin with 2 tragedies unfolding right now. A 3-year-old shot in the arm on Detroit's east side just hours after a 13-year-old boy was critically shot. And police say it was his 10-year-old cousin who pulled the trigger. Those 2 shootings happened just 2.5 miles apart from each other.
Live crews at both scenes. Larry Spruill is live on O'Meara Street where the 3-year-old was shot in the arm. We'll get to him in just a moment. Let's start, though, with Victor Williams live on Justine Street where that 13-year-old was rushed to the hospital. Victor.
Yes, guys, it's unfortunate that we have to tell yet another one of these stories, but we're told that 13-year-old is now in critical condition after being shot by his own blood.
It's sad.
Police were called out to Justine Street just after 12:45 Tuesday afternoon. After making it to the scene, they would find a 13-year-old suffering from a gunshot wound.
It's a tragedy, when you're on the block, you see kids up and down the street, and you know them, you say hi to them and stuff like that. And then to wake up and know something like this happened, man, it's real tragic.
Turns out the person that pulled the trigger was his 10-year-old cousin. Alan Thomas, who lives just a few doors down from where the incident took place, blames outside influences.
Everything talking about guns and gang life and everything, and he see this right here, that's going to make him a part of it. That's going to make him want to emulate that.
At this point, we're not sure where on the body the 13-year-old was shot. We're told that 3 minors were home alone when the gun was found and presumably used as a toy.
You got parents that's out here that got to go get it. They got to go provide.
Right now, police believe the shooting was accidental. From what police are saying, the 10-year-old behind the gun is pretty distraught.
Things are so desensitized out here. Before the reality hits, an untrained child is going to think that that's the norm.
And plenty of circumstances are unknown at this point in time, but we do know that this is exactly what DPD was trying to prevent with those free gun locks that they were giving out just weeks ago. So once again, we do want to remind you that if you do carry, these gun locks are free of charge at your local precinct. Victor Williams, Local 4. Back.
Yeah, Victor, and as police were investigating that scene that you just saw behind Victor, they got another call that sent them running.
Another call of a child shot just 2.5 miles away. Let's get to the city's east side there. This time it was a 3-year-old shot in the arm. Larry Spruill is live with more on that. Larry.
Good evening, Kimberly and Devin. A very busy day for Detroit police as they are now investigating a second shooting involving a young child or teenager. Now, I just spoke with police and here's what we know. But first, let's take a look at some of the video from the scene from earlier today. Now, all of this happened around 2:30 here at a home on O'Meara. Police say a 3-year-old was shot in the arm accidentally. They are still investigating how he was shot, but we do know that a 4-year-old and a 13-year-old were also inside the home at the time of the shooting. Now, police say no adults were there, and they have this message for our viewers tonight. Take a listen.
We have to be able to avoid this. It's totally avoidable. What we need to do is put those weapons up. We need to make them safe, take them with you, lock them, do whatever you have to do to protect our kids, because it makes no sense. It's senseless and it can be avoided.
Avoided it indeed. Now, police say they're still trying to figure out if charges will be filed at this time. But once again, they want to remind our viewers that they are giving away those free gun locks. As Victor Williams said earlier, they are asking anyone who needs one to stop by and pick them up, no questions asked. We are live on the Detroit East Side tonight. Larry Spruill, Local 4.
Okay, Larry. Also breaking at 5, Governor Whitmer has signed off on $2.5 billion of coronavirus relief.
But she left more than $1 billion on the table, vetoing parts of the bill that would strip her of some of her emergency powers. Let's get to Rod Maloney live tonight with what's in and what's out, Rod.
Well, here's the thing, about almost $2 billion is now left on the sidelines, and we're right where we thought we would be this time last night when we talked about the governor saying that she was not going to give up any of her emergency powers, and she has not. The governor did sign 2 bills, bringing some of the promised and needed money to so many across Michigan. Frontline direct care workers will get their $2.25 an hour wage increase. She green-lighted more than $250 million in emergency rental assistance. She also approved direct COVID assistance, $110 million for vaccine administration, $500 million or more for testing and contact tracing. But she also broke out the veto pen and shut down enrolled House Bill 4049, essentially stalling $2 billion worth of assistance. It's here the legislature attached strings that would have eliminated the governor's emergency powers on returning students to face-to-face learning, non-public schools, property tax assistance, and much more. It also leaves small business funding in limbo. The governor called 4049 reckless and poorly timed. She also said in a statement, quote, "The bills I received were not negotiated with me or my administration, and I continue to call on the legislature to ensure that we work together to ensure we maximize every penny that is available. There were problems in the bills that I had to veto, and I expect the legislature to step up to fix the bill to allocate all of the money so we can get back to normal as soon as possible," end quote.
And Rod, certainly the Republican legislature can't be happy with this.
No, they're very unhappy with it. The speaker putting out a statement this afternoon, very angry. Also, we'll be talking to the House Appropriations Chair. His name is Tom Albert. We'll have sound from him tonight at 6 o'clock with his take on what the governor has accomplished with her veto.
Yeah. Okay, Rod, we'll see you at 6. Thank you.
Meanwhile, today the state reporting 954 new cases of the coronavirus over the past 24 hours. That is right in line with the average that we saw from the weekend. State also reporting another 29 new deaths due to coronavirus.
And now let's take a look at the vaccine. 3.3 million doses have been sent here to Michigan, and 2.6 million of those doses have been administered. Tonight, we're learning Mayor Duggan is expected to announce 3 big things tonight in his State of the City address.
That is set for this evening at 7. You'll see it here on Local 4. Mara McDonald's going to be covering that for us tonight. Never as much of a speech. The mayor likes to give really more of a, I think, what you'd call a presentation.
Devin, I think I'd call it a freestyle address. Duggan is one of the few politicos who can successfully give one of these addresses without a prepared speech in front of him. At the most, he usually has a legal pad with a couple notes on it. What I would expect tonight, probably a video introing what the last year has been like, a PowerPoint presentation that he just sort of speaks through. And I'm guessing we're going to hear 3 key things. Take a look. Duggan clearly has key points he wants to discuss. For starters, after last week's unforced error on the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, we expect to hear him announce a J&J vaccine site to be up and running shortly in the city of Detroit. But the second big policy initiative is his $50 million so-called People Plan. This is probably going to be the most interesting thing of the night, to see what plans there are to use this money to break the cycle of generational poverty. And finally, more on auto insurance. Yes, the bill the legislature approved gave all of us in Michigan choice when it comes to our personal injury protection. But let's see what else the mayor has up his sleeve for driving down auto insurance rates in Detroit. Back here live, as is typical, the mayor takes this address on the road, doing the same thing tonight. It'll be at the Stellantis plant on the city's east side. What is not typical, it's going to be a completely online virtual presentation. No in-person crowds for what is usually a see-and-be-seen event for Detroit's power brokers. We're live downtown tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Exactly right, Mara, but that's why you'll want to watch it here. You can tune in this evening, 7 o'clock. Local 4 will have the mayor's State of the City address, but we will also stream it live on our website at clickondetroit.com. Other news at this hour: after a one-day delay, jury selection started today in the trial of Derek Chauvin.
The former Minneapolis police officer is charged with the murder of George Floyd. Today, Chauvin sat next to his defense attorney as potential jurors for his trial were questioned. Prosecutors are asking the Court of Appeals to put the trial on hold until the issue of adding a third-degree murder count is resolved. Legal observers say that could be critical for the prosecution.
Only one police officer in the history of Minnesota has been convicted for killing someone while on duty, and he was convicted on a third-degree murder charge.
2 jurors have already been assigned to what will be a 12-member panel with 4 alternates. Chauvin's defense team has indicated if the third-degree charge is included, they'll file an appeal. Buckingham Palace released its first response to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's bombshell interview in which allegations were made of racism within the palace. The 3-paragraph statement reads in part, quote, "The issues raised, particularly that of race, are concerning. While some recollections may vary, they have been taken very seriously and will be addressed by the family privately." The statement goes on to read that Prince Harry, Meghan, and Archie will always be loved by the royal family.
All right, off and running on this Tuesday. Let's check in with Ben.
Kim and Devin, parts of the state did make it to the 60s. We were not part of that, at least most of us. We'll tell you when the warmth comes back and what's coming along with it next.
All right, Ben, also Governor Snyder's legal team comes out swinging in court, why they say the case needs to be moved out of Flint and how they used the controversial decision by Governor Whitmer to make their case. Sean?
How to get COVID-19 vaccination shots to people who are homebound. Tonight, the Local 4 defenders were fighting for your loved ones.